The Allies of Humanity, Book 4, received by Marshall Vian Summers. A message from Marshall Vian Summers. It is a great pleasure for me to present to you the fourth set of briefings from the Allies of Humanity. These briefings are part of a greater communication from those races in our local universe who support humanity's freedom and sovereignty as it emerges into a greater community of life. This is an authentic message from an extraterrestrial source, warning us of the dangers of intervention from beyond and urging us to prepare for the challenges of life in the universe. The Allies of Humanity are a group of individuals from several different worlds who came to the vicinity of the Earth to observe the alien intervention that is occurring in our world and to report on the activities of this intervention and its implications for the human race. Through their briefings, the Allies are revealing the reality of contact occurring in the world today, who the visitors are, why they are here, and the larger agenda behind their activities. In doing so, the briefings fill in many of the critical gaps in our understanding of the reality of extraterrestrial visitation and the UFO phenomenon, which have been the focus of research and inquiry for over 7 decades. The briefings provide us a clear picture of who we are encountering, what this means for humanity, and how we can prepare for this, the greatest and most consequential event in human history. And yet these briefings are also a gift, for they give us a window into the realities of life in our local region of space, a vision we could not have otherwise. The Allies are not here on our planet influencing our governments, our science, or our religions. Instead, they came to the vicinity of our world to witness the intervention taking place on Earth and to provide us a series of briefings that reveal vital information about what is happening, why it is happening, what it means, and what we must do to prepare. The Allies are not giving these briefings to governments or people in positions of power. They are giving these briefings to the people of our world. The Allies contacted me in 1996 and presented their first set of briefings in 1997 and in 1998. This first set of briefings was then published in the year 2000 as the Allies of Humanity Briefings, an urgent message about the extraterrestrial presence in the world today. There was no further communication from the Allies in the 2 years that followed. The Allies contacted me again in December of 2000 with a second set of briefings. Under great duress, they revealed that after the publication of their first set of briefings, they were identified and pursued by the intervention and needed to convey their second set of briefings immediately. All 6 briefings were given in one day. 8 years later, the Allies contacted me again with their third set of briefings, now speaking from far beyond the world. All 7 briefings were given in one day in June 2008. And then 8 years later came the fourth set of briefings. They were revealed to me in October 2016, with all 6 briefings given in one day. I cannot account for why there were such large periods of time between the briefings. Perhaps it was the circumstances facing the Allies after they were forced to depart the vicinity of the Earth. Or perhaps there were greater events taking place beyond our world that involved the Allies' mission and those they represent. All told, these briefings present a body of understanding and perspective that we as human beings could not obtain ourselves, given at a time of critical need as the foreign presence of intervention in the world grows and becomes ever more influential here in ways that we can barely understand. For humanity is unaware and unprepared for this great threshold, our encounter with intelligent life in the universe, which is occurring not from our journeys into space, but from the arrival of those who have come here for their own purposes. I would like to give you an overview of the first 3 sets of briefings, and then speak about the 4th set of briefings. The first 3 sets of briefings reveal that humanity is not alone in the universe, or even within our own world. With this, they reveal that there is an extraterrestrial presence in our world functioning here in a secretive manner, affecting people worldwide. This is an intervention from aggressive forces in our local universe who are seeking to gain control of the world's resources for themselves. This is an intervention from which we will not benefit, and to which we will be subjected if we succumb to its persuasions. Those intervening in our world want us to work for them, for they cannot live here. They cannot breathe our atmosphere. They cannot face the biological complexity of our world. They need us as part of the resources of the world. This is a process overall of intervention and colonization being undertaken over a long period of time to be achieved without the use of force. The briefings tell us that the intervention occurring in the world today means that our isolation in the universe is now over, and that we will have to face contact from intervening forces well into the future. Protecting our world and our sovereignty will be an ongoing requirement into the future. Why is intervention happening now? The intervention is here because we are degrading a world rich in resources that they want to control for themselves. The intervention values the earth and is watching us destroy and degrade it at a phenomenal pace. Here the briefings tell us that the earth is a prize desired by others in a universe of barren worlds. An intervention is now proceeding because we have created a structure of commerce and communication that it can utilize for its own purposes. Throughout their briefings, the Allies talk about the importance of human freedom and self-determination in an environment of tremendously powerful persuasion and inducements, particularly cast upon a young race emerging into this greater community of life. And how many other emerging races in the universe have fallen prey to intervention, such as we are facing now. We are unprepared for contact with this greater community, for we can only imagine, through our media, film, and science, what life might be like beyond our borders. But the picture that the Allies' briefings present is very different than what most people think of today. The Allies' briefings are grounded in the realities of life in our local universe, and therefore present a much more accurate representation of what actually exists beyond us. From this, we can begin to see that the universe is an expression of the same reality of nature that we experience in our world. Yet it is nature occurring on a scale and a level of complexity beyond what we can imagine. As a result, the Allies' briefings emphasize that we can understand the reality of intervention from our own experience of intervention here on Earth. Our history has shown us the evidence of intervention of one culture upon another, one nation upon another, repeatedly, over time. This means that our own history and native wisdom can enable us to see and understand a great deal about who is here and why they have come. Yet there is much we cannot see and know about what life is like in our local universe, but which we would need to know if we are to understand who is visiting our world. To understand who is here and why they're here and what this means for us, we have to understand something about what life is like in the universe around us. We have to understand what would bring an intervention here, what creates it, what strengthens it, what gives it power, what limits its power. The first 3 sets of Allies briefings provide us this perspective very directly. The 4th set of briefings builds upon this and focuses on freedom in the universe, how it is achieved, how it is maintained, and the restraints humanity will have to adhere to in order to become a free race in the universe. With this, they reveal the great spiritual coordination that exists throughout the universe, through which the Creator of all life supports spiritual development, awareness, unity, and freedom in the universe. The Allies devote one of their briefings to the networks of the wise, which represents individuals in many different worlds who are being guided by this greater coordination to support their world's freedom and well-being, creating a vast network through which wisdom can be sent from one world to another. The Allies reveal that they are part of this network of the wise. Throughout their briefings, the Allies emphasize that we are now the native peoples of the earth, facing intervention from powers from beyond. To recognize this requires courage, clarity, objectivity, and awareness. The time for this awareness and recognition has come. Our need is pressing, and it is now. There are things we must know about life in the universe around us, and about the nature and purpose of those intervening in our world today, which the Allies of Humanity are revealing to us. The Allies of Humanity emphasize that we must resist the intervention through education, through awareness building, and through a growing human alliance and the empowerment of those who are seeing the intervention's activities and who are being affected by them. To do this, the Allies emphasize that we must rely upon the power of our innate spiritual intelligence within, which is called knowledge. This greater intelligence is humanity's inherent ability to see and to know the truth beyond fear and preference, to see and know the intervention for what it really is. To enable us to gain access to this knowledge, a preparation has been given to us from the Creator of all life called the Steps to Knowledge. This is the pathway of discovering knowledge and building your connection to it in the context of the greater community. Therefore, I welcome you and encourage you to explore these briefings with an open mind, allowing your thoughts to be challenged, allowing old beliefs to be overturned if necessary, allowing something new and vital and necessary to be given to you as a person and to all of us together.